Mhm.
Hi, I'm Diane Krakora, CEO of PartnerPath. Welcome to Technology Channel Videocast. With me, I have Charlene O'Hanlon. Hi, Charlene.
Hey Diane, how are you?
Good. Summer's winding to an end. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks.
We see the ecosystem of vendors starting to look at revising partner programs, and this really becomes a heavy influence in the fall because a lot of people are trying to launch new models or new program or new benefits or new structures in the new year that align with their sales kickoff meetings and their partner events. So we start to see this question come up a lot as you're designing new partner programs. What partner feedback do you get, and how do you get that partner feedback? And is it a satisfaction metric? And this whole idea of a net promoter scores starting to come to fruition. So that's what's kind of on top of the mind this week.
Well, I think obviously feedback is very important, and but it's one thing to get feedback, and it's quite another to actually, act on that feedback. So I don't see any reason why vendors shouldn't look at a net promoter score as a way to gauge their satisfaction among their channel partners. But yeah, I think probably maybe the larger question is, what are they doing on the back end to address the issues that may arise from the comments that their partners may have, both current and potential customers? Because obviously with a scoring system, and the comments that you receive from that, there will probably be some negative things that come up here and there. So how are vendors working either proactively or reactively to address those concerns?
Yeah, and I think also that goes to kind of how the feedback is also collected, right? In terms of what do you do with those concerns, right? Is it just a squeaky wheel? Are you collecting unbiased data? So really we see kind of five standard ways that vendors collect feedback or input from the partners, ranging from kind of the informal to the very formal. And the informal starting side is like a feedback button on their website or their partner portal, right? And that's just really kind of ad hoc feedback that partners can give. And sometimes you only get the squeaky wheel when that happens, right? You're not usually getting like partners that say, "Yay, you're so awesome," but it's like, I can't get access to this tool, or I can't get, something like that.
Mhm.
So that's the first one. The second one is kind of a roll up from the partner account managers, right? So they are talking to the partners, and you talk to your partner account managers, and they, you're saying what's the feedback. But that's also very kind of ancillary or ad hoc feedback. And then the third one is a partner advisory council, where you're sitting some of your top partners down or some of your growth partners and actually having, a meeting focused on partner feedback. And that's one we'll talk a little bit about more today, is that partner council feedback. The fourth one, again, from more informal to formal, is a partner satisfaction survey, and that's where this net promoter score continues to come up. But that's a vendor putting out a satisfaction survey to the partners. It's branded by the vendor. It's saying, we want your input in gathering that. And in that, we get this question of how likely are you to promote our product or recommend even us as a vendor to other partners. So that's kind of two aspects of the net promoter score. And then kind of the most formal side of this that we see is a blind study, where it's not necessarily promoted by the vendor saying, we'd like your feedback, but able to an organization to collect feedback against a vendor or several vendors and be able to provide kind of that unbiased feedback from the partners, because they don't really know which vendor it's coming from.
Well, obviously there is no such thing as the right answer when it comes to this. When it comes to the partner advisory council, yeah, that's something I've always kind of had an issue with, because if the vendor is selecting the partners who it wants to interface with as far as getting feedback, it seems to me that they wouldn't the makeup of the Partner Advisory Council would not be one that includes partners on the low end of the scale and the high end of the scale. You even said it. It's their best performing partners, or the ones that make the most amount of money for the company. And to me, that right there, it kind of skews the whole, you know, the whole conversation, or the whole process, because their needs and their problems or issues are going to be much different than folks who maybe can't get off the ground because they're having a different set of issues, and those issues aren't being either recognized, or they are being, you know, they're being heard, but nothing's happening to help them. So, you know, when it comes to the advisory councils, I really think that if vendors really want to go down that route, I think it would behoove them to make sure that they have a wide spectrum of partners on that council, not just the guys who make, you know, millions of dollars for that vendor every single year. Because like I said before, you're not going to get an objective and across the board view of really the issues that their partners as a whole are facing.
Right, because one of the things that we see is that often the partner advisory council, those people that are invited to that, and this usually somewhere around 10 to 15 partners or executives from partners, and most of the time it is the largest guys or the most producing partners. Sometimes we see innovative vendors put in growth partners, or those that are big maybe with another vendor, not even a competitor, but not necessarily with their technology yet, and trying to see, you know, why. But with the Partner Advisory Council, we do see that a lot of these guys have figured it out, right? They figured out how to work with that vendor. So there aren't a lot of kind of operational challenges that are addressed in there. They're more, you know, maybe strategic or field level engagement things, but not necessarily operational. Where some of the smaller guys who aren't transacting as much probably might have some of those what we call quote to cash challenges, right? In terms of really engaging or getting that operational stuff through.
Yeah, so, you know, maybe in that respect, maybe vendors could look to their kind of better performing partners, those that have, you know how to work with the vendor, as you said, maybe, you know, tap them to be brand ambassadors for other channel partners. You know, something like that actually helps not only the vendor in addressing the issues, but also helps their fellow channel partners by helping, you know, just kind of guiding them through the process and helping them understand what they need to do and ways they need to work the system, if you will, to actually, you know, move to a higher revenue stream.
Yeah, I think that right now we're hearing this time of year, we hear a lot about gathering feedback. We got a lot of questions in the last couple of weeks around partner satisfaction surveys, or the idea of a net promoter score, in terms of, do we collect it online? Do you do interviews? Do you have a partner advisory council? Like how? So I just wanted to, you know, thank you for taking some time to banter around some of these ideas of like, how do we collect feedback from partners as we go forward to make changes, right? And we all want to improve our partner programs and our models and engage more partners more effectively for them. And I think as you said so eloquently at the beginning of this, it's not only that you are listening to partners, but what do you do with that feedback?
Right. And you know, I will say kudos to all the vendors who actually are reaching out to their partners and communicating with them to really get a feel for how they're doing among their channel partners and the marketplace in general. So good job, guys.
So all you guys that are listening to this video cast every week, tell us how we're doing. Come on, put some notes in there. What would you like to hear? How are we doing in terms of addressing your topics, and what else you'd like to hear from us? And thank you, Charlene, on what I know is a very busy week for you, for joining me in this technology video cast to banter about feedback.
It is always a pleasure, Diane.
Chat with you.